Have you ever wondered why you came across this very video, right at this moment in your life? My dear brothers and sisters, this is not an accident. Allah knows what is in your heart. He knows the du'as you've been making, and He knows the silent prayers you whisper when no one else can hear. Sometimes, Allah places a reminder in your path exactly when you need it most, a sign that He is listening to you and that your prayers are not forgotten. The fact that you're watching this now is a gentle message. Allah has heard you, and He is closer to you than you realize. Every tear, every word, and every hope you've shared with Him has been recorded. This moment is a reminder that Allah knows, Allah hears, and Allah will respond in the best way. 1. Allah hears every dua. Every word you utter in your dua is heard by Allah. Even when you don't speak it aloud, and it remains only in your heart, Allah knows it completely. Nothing is hidden from Him. Not your whispers, not your tears, not even the thoughts you're too shy to put into words. Allah is Al-Sami, the all-hearing, and He has promised that when His servant calls upon Him, He responds. Sometimes you may feel like your prayers are too small or too repetitive to matter. But remember, the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, taught us that Allah loves when His servant asks again and again because it shows reliance on Him. No dua goes unnoticed. Even the sigh of a broken heart, the quiet hope in your chest, or the dua you made years ago that you've forgotten. Allah has not forgotten. Dua is not just about the words you say, it's about the connection you build with your Creator. Each time you raise your hands, you are being heard. Each time your eyes well up with tears, Allah is aware. Never doubt that your du'as are reaching Him, because He is listening to you in ways more intimate than anyone else ever could. 2. Timing of acceptance. One of the most beautiful truths about dua is that Allah answers it in the time He knows is best. While we live in a world of impatience, where we want instant results, Allah operates with perfect wisdom. He may grant your dua immediately if He knows it will bring you goodness right now. At other times, He delays the response because He wants to give you something at a better moment, a moment when your heart is ready, your faith is stronger, or when the blessing will carry more value in your life. It is also possible that what you are asking for is not truly good for you, even though you desire it deeply. In this case, Allah may replace it with something far greater, something you couldn't even imagine for yourself. Every delay, every pause is not neglect, it's divine precision. The Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said that a dua is answered in one of 3 ways. Either Allah grants it, delays it for later, or removes a hardship in its place. This means your dua is never wasted. The timing is simply Allah's choice, and His choice is always superior to our own. 3. Hidden wisdom in delays. When Allah delays the response to your dua, it is not out of neglect, but out of mercy. What feels like waiting is often protection. You may be asking for something that seems good from your perspective, but Allah knows the unseen. He knows what lies ahead, what dangers it may bring, and how it could affect your faith and future. The delay, therefore, is a shield, keeping you safe from harm that you cannot yet see. Delays also serve as a way to strengthen your relationship with Allah. They teach you patience, perseverance, and reliance on Him rather than on quick outcomes. Every moment you continue to make dua, despite the wait, your heart grows in humility and trust. This process is part of the hidden blessing, because the journey of turning back to Allah again and again is itself an answered prayer. At times, the delay is also a preparation. Perhaps Allah is shaping you, removing obstacles or aligning circumstances so that when the blessing finally arrives, it comes in the best possible way. What you see as silence is actually divine planning, filled with wisdom that one day you will understand and thank Allah for. 4. Signs and reminders. Sometimes when you are lost in thoughts of whether your du'as are reaching Allah, He sends you subtle reminders to strengthen your heart. These reminders come in ways you least expect. A verse from the Quran that suddenly speaks directly to your situation, a khutbah that addresses the very struggle you are facing, or even a video or message that feels as though it was written just for you. These are not coincidences. They are signs from Allah that He is aware of you. Such reminders are a form of reassurance. They come at the exact moment you need them most, nudging you to remain steadfast and patient. They remind you that Allah has not forgotten you, even if you've been waiting for an answer. In reality, they are part of the response to your dua, a gentle way of telling you, I hear you, I see you, and I am with you. These signs also increase your iman by showing you how personally Allah interacts with His servants. The very fact that you encounter them is proof that your heart is being guided. Recognizing these reminders helps you to trust more deeply in Allah's care and nearness. 5. The power of sabr, patience. Sabr is one of the greatest qualities a believer can hold on to while waiting for their du'as to be answered. It is not just passive waiting. Rather, it is the ability to endure with trust, calmness, and faith that Allah's plan is unfolding in the best way. Patience protects the heart from despair and keeps the tongue from complaints, allowing the believer to remain steadfast in worship even during trials. Through sabr, a person shows Allah that their faith is not conditional on immediate results. Instead, it demonstrates reliance on His wisdom and acceptance of His decree. The Quran repeatedly reminds us that Allah is with those who are patient, and that the reward for patience is limitless. This means that every moment you hold firm, you are earning blessings that go beyond what you asked for. Sabr also strengthens the soul. It teaches self-control, nurtures humility, and allows gratitude to grow even when things are difficult. Often, it is patience that transforms hardship into spiritual elevation. By practicing sabr, you are not just waiting for an answer. You are being molded into someone who can carry the blessing with wisdom and gratitude when it finally arrives. 6. Allah's nearness. One of the most comforting truths in Islam is knowing how near Allah is to His servants. He tells us in the Quran, "Indeed, I am near. I respond to the call of the supplicant when he calls upon me." This nearness means that you never have to wait for the right place, the right time, or the right condition to call on Him. In every situation, whether in joy or sorrow, Allah is closer to you than anyone else could ever be. His nearness is not just physical, it is emotional and spiritual. Allah knows what weighs on your heart, what thoughts cross your mind, and what burdens you carry in silence. When you feel alone or misunderstood, His closeness becomes your greatest source of comfort. This awareness changes the way you make dua. You don't need elaborate words or perfect expressions. Even a single tear, a quiet thought, or a heavy sigh is enough for Allah to understand. His closeness means you are never abandoned, never ignored, and never unheard. Remembering His nearness builds intimacy with Him and reassures your heart that no matter what you face, you are always directly connected to your Creator. 7. Encouragement to continue. Dua, one of the most powerful acts a believer can do, is to continue making dua without giving up. Repeatedly turning to Allah shows true reliance, humility, and recognition that He alone has control over every matter. The Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, encouraged persistence in supplication, teaching us that as long as a person does not grow impatient and say, "I made dua, but was not answered," their prayers remain alive and full of reward. Each time you raise your hands, you are building a stronger bond with Allah. Even if you feel no visible change, something is happening. Your sins are being forgiven, your heart is being purified, and unseen barriers are being removed. The consistency itself becomes a form of worship, proving your sincerity. Continuing dua also protects you from despair. Instead of closing the door to hope, it keeps you connected to the endless mercy of Allah. You are never left empty-handed. Your dua will either be answered, stored for the hereafter, or exchanged for protection against harm. So never allow yourself to think your duas are wasted. Every time you call upon Allah, it is written, it is heard, and it is preserved. Keep asking, because Allah loves those who never stop. My dear brothers and sisters, always remember that Allah never leaves your dua unanswered. Whether He grants it, delays it, or replaces it with something better, His response is always filled with mercy and wisdom. So keep asking, keep believing, and keep trusting in His plan. If this video touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Merciful Deen so we can spread more reminders together. I leave you with a prayer. May Allah ease your worries, bless you with what is best, and fill your heart with peace. Comment Ameen below if you believe this.